Have you ever stopped to think, what will be different this year than last year? What will I do differently that will really make the difference? Stay tuned and let's find out. And welcome everyone to Supercharge with Emily Momentum Monday to wish you a momentous week. That your week will be off to a great and supercharged start. That is the goal as we launch forth into a new week. So today I want to go right into this topic of before and after. What will be different? So I was having a conversation with my violin coach, Miss Anna Zivkovic, and we were talking about what are my violin goals for this year? What are my violin goals? And I could extend that conversation to any kind of goals that you have for your business, for your life in general. But I was discussing with her about music. And she said, I want you to write 2 columns. I want you to write 2 columns. What is your current state and what do you want it to be like? What will be different after you set your goal? And that really got me thinking because I started to write the 2 columns and I was like, what will be different? What exactly do I expect to be different? And that brought me quite up close with the stark reality of the accountability that we need to have when we decide we're going to do something differently than how we've done it in the past. And so, again, as we enter these new years, we're at the start of 2025, people like, I'm going to do things differently this year. And the question is, what exactly will be different? What exactly are you going to do that is different? What am I going to do that is truly different that will move the needle on whatever that goal is that you set out to do? And so I want to encourage us today, kind of just want to give you some food for thought, some things to think about in terms of that. So one of the things we discussed, and many people are familiar with the whole concept of SMART goals and everything being specific and measurable and achievable and all of that. However, the question is, what will be different? What will be different? And I think that's really the big question to ask yourself, because we can go through all of these things. It needs to be specific, it needs to be this, it needs to be that. Yes, those are the mechanics of accomplishing the goal, but it's not telling me what exactly the difference is. Yes, that's right. It isn't telling you what the difference is. So we need to be able to say, what is the difference? And I'll give you an age-old one. When it comes to businesses, a lot of people, they want to start a business or they want to grow their business. So what exactly are you going to do differently for that to happen? Or maybe should I say, what are you going to stop doing for that to happen? One of the key things to keep in mind is just the reality of how much time it takes, how much time you have to dedicate to really doing the tasks at hand or addressing the tasks to be done and determining if someone else can do them for you if you need to delegate them. And realizing that what are the pros and cons if I don't do this or if I do it or don't do it. So for example, outsourcing payroll. Payroll, if you're one person, if you're a solopreneur, you may think, well, I can do that myself. It doesn't really take that long to fill out a couple forms. It doesn't really take that long to do this and do that. But the reality is, if you add up the cumulative time that you're going to be spending doing these so-called easy forms, it will take you more time away from something that's more income generating, something more germane to your achieving that goal that you have, which may be, say, to grow your business. And you're taking the time to do all of this payroll type thing, let's say, and heaven forbid if you make a mistake, heaven forbid if something goes wrong with the IRS or with the state that you're in or whatever, wherever your country may happen to be, and then you have to make corrections. Or if you file late and then you have penalties. So it's a snowball effect of issues that could ensue from trying to do something yourself that really is more hurting you than helping you. So I use that as an example. Think of other examples of things that maybe you could be doing that is taking time away from what will make a true difference. So when I finally decided to outsource payroll, I was like, I have to pay this monthly fee. I could just do it myself. It's just easy enough. But then, as I just mentioned some examples, when you run into challenges, then it becomes very time consuming. And so the question to ask is, can I make more with the time that I spend doing this? If I were to spend the time on my business, would I actually make more than what I'm going to spend to pay someone to do this? And if the answer is yes, then without a doubt, you want to outsource that task as quickly as possible. If the answer is no, then you might want to say, well, what could I be doing that's a better use of my time? So I always encourage people, like in my Supercharge Club and Supercharge CEO, what is the optimal use of our time? What can we do to better use our time? So that will make a big difference as you start to answer the question, what will be different? And I can say I'm going to be able to have that extra time to focus on creating content that I need for my membership, for example, instead of doing payroll. That I think is something worth considering. So think of an example for yourself. If you say before and after, before the situations like this, and what I want it to look like after, what will be different for that to change? So give yourself an example, think of something that applies to yourself, and then think of it accordingly. So now I want to share with you today a little segment. I'm going to call it my Shoutout Monday. I want to highlight some people that have taken the time to come up to me and let me know that how much the Momentum Mondays are meaning to them. Sometimes I do my video, I come on here, I don't know who's listening, I don't know who's watching. And not everybody, engages that may watch what you're doing. And so a couple weeks ago, I was in my local Home Depot and someone was looking at me and she said to me, "Are you on YouTube?" And I'm like, "Yeah, well, as a matter of fact, I am." And she said, I've seen you before, but I'm not quite sure. Like, do you talk about this? Do you talk about that? Anyway, suffice it to say, she had seen me like a year ago interviewing someone, and she had remembered, made the connection, and I was like, really, like, wow, not only did you see the show, but then you remembered. And it got me thinking that don't underestimate, you never know what impact you're having. Sometimes as entrepreneurs, even though visibility is critical for a part of your marketing, people need to see what you're doing and see you out there in social media. Sometimes we just want to hide. Sometimes we just want to, but we have to come and share. And to know that someone's noticing, that it meant something to them, was like really made my day. And then most recently, I went to the wonderful networking event with the Port St. Lucie Business Club guys. If you're in Port St. Lucie, you really should become a member of the Port St. Lucie Business Club. This is their Facebook page, free Facebook page. Go ahead and scan it right now. With Nick and his wife, Nick Scalise and his wife, Michelle. They do an amazing job promoting networking events in the community. And I went to one of their networking events, actually the first one that I attended, even though I'm a part of their Facebook group. And I met this lovely lady who came up to me and said she watches my videos and she wanted to let me know that she watches them. And I was like, oh my goodness, I can't tell you how much that means to me. So Raina, I have to thank you. And I'd love to share, let me see if it's going to come up. I'd love to share the video, which of course decided to disappear, but hold on, let me find it. Let's get it back. That's it. Now, let me share this fabulous little video from Raina Christian, who was so kind to share this beautiful feedback with me. So let me share it with you right now. Okay. Yeah, right now. Yes. All right, cursor. All right, here we go. So All right, let's see. Let's get it there. Okay, let's get it up. What's it doing? Hold on. Oh, here we go. All right, that's the screen. Very good. And then let's play the video. I tell you, I don't know what's going on. Let me straighten that out. You know, you set things up. You know how this goes, guys. You know how it goes. Give me a second. I'm going to get it back. I'm going to get it back. Anyway, I was so appreciative of Raina taking the time to come up to me. So let me just, and so Raina and her husband have a he's a cardiologist, and his company is called Anley Cardio in Fort Pierce, I believe. So go and check them out, Anley Cardio. And I was so impressed with what she shared with me. And so here is her video.
Hi, I just came here to say how amazing Emily is. Her wonderful video that she does is so inspirational and so chock full of amazing tips and information, and I absolutely love it. So thank you for the work that you do, Emily.
Thank you so much. That was so great. I really appreciated that tremendously. And I'm just chasing this around. So, yay! Thank you so much, Raina. That was at Golf Galaxy in Port St. Lucie at the Port St. Lucie Business Club networking event last week. So I just want to say thank you to anyone who is watching this show, watching this podcast and the video, and it means something to you. Please subscribe, like, comment, share. Let me know what resonates with you, what any comment, anything that I mentioned that has made a difference. It would be very helpful for me to understand or hear or know what is speaking to someone, because I can do more of it, I can go in more depth, and it lets me know that that's actually something that's helpful. Because what is really important to me is that I share things that are beneficial to you. And the last thing I want to do is get on here and waste anybody's time. I want to share something that's going to help your business, help you with some life decision that would give you some perspective. And I think the biggest benefit of doing this Momentum Monday is perspective. It's like a different way of maybe approaching something that you've been thinking about a certain way, and now someone presents a different way of looking at things. And sometimes that's all you need. It's not always a training, or it's not always the need for some, long-winded explanation, but just the opportunity to see things a little differently can sometimes really make the difference. So I want to thank you guys so much for supporting the channel, supporting me, and coming up to me and letting me know that this is meaningful to you, because that means a tremendous amount to me to hear it directly from you guys. And so for this week, that's pretty much what I wanted to share with you. A little bit of perspective. And for my superchargers, we're having our Supercharge CEO coming up tomorrow, Tuesday, depending when we're watching this. We're going to be finishing our conversation on developing your annual business calendar and all the different things you need to think about as you plan out your year. And if you need help doing that for yourself, I invite you to check out the Supercharge CEO. And in the meantime, if you haven't subscribed to my newsletter, I invite you to do so at emilymchugh.com/free gift, where when you do that, you not only get a beautiful how to focus checklist toolkit, but you will become a part of my newsletter, where I will send out newsletters twice a month. Yes. Yes, so many amazing ways to supercharge. So thank you for being with me. See you next time. And if during the week you want to touch bases, follow me on Instagram at Emily the Entrepreneur. And I look forward to seeing you then. Until then, stay supercharged and see you next week.